Hi, I'm Elliot, and I love to travel, but with everything that happened, it's hard to say when I'll cross another border. Still, I have an itch, and recently I found myself on Google Maps just wandering around. It doesn't really compare with the real thing, but it's still fun to do, so I thought I'd share my experience in this series called Google Maps Adventure. So join me and my pegman as we explore Google Maps Street View in the safety of our homes. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Google Maps Adventure. I'm Elliot. It's good to see you. Thank you for spending your precious time with me. I know it's very valuable. I appreciate you finding moments to hang out with me. I really appreciate it, especially with everything that's going on, and I know how busy you are, so thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. I'm gonna make sure I provide some value. Not really, that's not what the show is about. We're really just hanging out because I know you're busy, but you're also very lonely. So here I am to provide that companionship. You can always turn to me, is what I'm trying to tell you. You can always turn to me, or the video YouTube version of me. I'm always here for you in YouTube video form. Anyways, that being said, now that I've shown my appreciation, let's get into what this show is about today. Where are we traveling to today? Well, actually, I'm very excited for this one. Doing this episode is actually one of the reasons why I started this whole Google Maps adventure project to begin with. I really wanted to. This is a place I love dearly in my heart. Ever since I was a young boy, a young Chinese boy, I've always, how do I even put this? How do you even talk about your first love, And it seems so far away from where you are. And you always envision what life would be like if you were to have grown up there, or if you were to move there and start your life there. And of course, I'm talking about London, England, the Queen's country. Yeah. Why England? Let's zoom into it now as we start. I honestly don't know why I have this strange love and fascination with England. It's always been a part of. It's not something I announce to people like, hey, I'm Elliot, I am interested in like English culture. It's never been about that. It's probably because of Mr. Bean. Let's be honest. That's probably why I love this place so much. It's because of Mr. Bean. So London, I've had a chance to visit this city twice in my life. Both very short-lived trips. Both a couple days long. Maybe one even shorter than that. I would say one is even like maybe just under 40 hours, less than 40 hours long, maybe even less than that. And so what I'm hoping to do today is not to show you, the sights and sounds of London or anything like that. Anything that you could find on other tourist travel channels. I'm not giving you any of that today because I actually been here and I could share a journey that I went through, and I think that might be a little bit more fun, definitely for me, because hey, I'm the guy who's going to be talking for a bit. So let's talk about something that I have memories about. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. So I have this thing that I do. It's kind of a hobby. It's kind of something you train for throughout the year and you look forward to, and we call it amongst my friends the Golden Mile, and it's pretty much ripping off that movie, The World's End, I believe is what it's called, with Simon Pegg, where the plot of it is he and his group of old friends try to drink at like 12 different pubs, and I think it's set in like a small town in England. It's not in London, and that movie was as inspiring to me as, you know, any Quentin Tarantino movie ever, because it changed my life. And so drinking at 12 different bars is something my friends and I do not regularly. We try to make time for it, and but I've discovered that doing bar crawls is a fantastic way to explore a city. It just I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. You definitely don't get to see a lot of touristy stuff. I mean, you really do, actually, but you don't get kind of bogged down with like history or other you don't really spend your money on like tourist trap necessarily, but you spend it on a drink, a nice sit down, and you get to sort of see the the decor of the pub, or you feel the vibe of the locals that drink there. I feel like there's no better way to understand a culture than to see their dining experience. That's kind of how I see the world, and London is fantastic for that. That day when I did the bar crawl through the city, it was just unreal. It was amazing, and it's a day that I remember fondly, what I can of it. And I traveled with my wife, and it was definitely one of the best times I've ever had. So I'm gonna relive that trip with you today. So let's get started. We're gonna make our way across the city. I was smart enough to write down the list of all the pubs that we went to. I think I might have only gone to 11 or so, but one of them is a McDonald's break, so we'll count that as a stop. So let's get started. Our hotel room our hotel was around the Aldgate East area. And we kind of left it, and then immediately we found a pub to go into, so we went into that. I'm gonna see if I can find it without looking. Also keep in mind, this was 7 years ago. Oh my god, so this bar honestly might not even exist anymore. But why don't I drop myself down, and then we could just take a look at the city. Yeah, that was a long intro. I apologize for that. I had a lot to say. This is already so much fun. I don't know if I can find the pub this way. This looks like in the middle of COVID also, so everything is completely dead. But the bar we're looking for is called the Sit and Stand. And I actually have a very fond memory of this bar. It looks something like this. Everything kind of looks the same when you don't live in the place. I have definitely taken a wrong turn here. The Travel Lodge. So what do I remember about this pub that I can see if I can find it here? I might actually need to type stuff. Yeah, I don't know if this place exists anymore. This is a bummer. But I do remember my memory of the bar, and it was I remember walking in, and it was just a room full of business guys in suits, and immediately I felt at home. Not because I was in a suit, but or anything like that. But I live in Vancouver. Rarely do you even see business guys in suits. It's a very casual working environment, and I'm just so upset. I hope the rest of the episode's not gonna be like this. But I remember going into the bar and just seeing these people who are clearly like in the middle of a working day. We started pretty early, around noon, and they were just having a pint, drinking, and enjoying themselves. And I can't find it. And I was like, man, that's the way to do it. I love the idea of just casual drinking in the middle of the day. What can I say? That's my kind of culture. Well, it's a shame. Well, it also should be expected that some of these bars might not exist, because if you know anything about the restaurant and even, I guess, the hospitality industry, you know things don't really last that long. Let's look around. So yeah, we stayed in this area, which I think it's like the financial district. It's really close to, I believe it's called the Gherkin, which is the egg-shaped building. I don't know if I can see it from where I am, but let's pretend we went to the first bar. We'll have a drink to that. Rest in peace, the Sit and Stand. It is, I don't even know the location of it because it's not even showing up in the Google search anymore. Pret-a-manger is kind of there. I think it's kind of like a Subway or a Tim Hortons, or like a bread garden type of thing. I went to a few of them, but there it is, the Gherkin over there. Okay, well, let's make our way over there. I promised I wasn't gonna give you any touristy stuff, but here is a cool bar. Still and Star. What's on? All racing. Fuller's London Pride. Sorry. Definitely something I would have. Oh man, I miss this place so much. Okay. Sit and Stand, rest in peace. I'm sorry that I can't come back to you even in the digital world. Next one is East India Arms. Shepherd. Oh. Temporarily closed. That's to be expected. This one was really cool. This is like an old-timey type of bar. The previous one, Sit and Stand, was kind of like a pub. This one was kind of loungy. There were couches in there. Definitely not a COVID safe type of environment, and definitely feels like a place that would get really stuffy. And this is more of the area that we started. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Kind of disoriented there. Where did it go? Yes, here it is. So there were couches and all that, and it was definitely the quintessential, what I thought at least to be the quintessential London experience, is to just sit down. And they had the hand cranking ale, and the drink was kind of warm, which is not necessarily ideal for me because it wasn't like the best tasting beer. It was probably a Fuller's London Pride, and but like warm, and still what an experience to have like warm cast ale or whatever it is. I should also mention that I'm kind of obsessed with beer, and to so much of drinking beer is being in like the environment. It really impacts it, and just being there made me feel so. I felt at home, even though I was so far away, and I love this place for that reason. I still have memories of being there, just sitting there with my wife. She's just staring at me while I drink my beer and reminisce about the journey I had in order to get there was a wonderful thing. Yeah, there's the Gherkin financial district, and so from there we kind of wandered around. I was feeling good. I got a nice buzz going. It's really kind of scary to see this place so empty and just like just like these people walking around all like it's so quiet and deserted. I don't know what the situation in London is like right now. Oh yeah, also my condolences to all London Euro Cup fans out there. My heart goes out to you. I watched the game, cheering for England. That was painful. That was painful. I had nothing at stakes, and it was still one of the worst chokes I've ever seen. Just being so close, and whew, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to even bring that up. We were having fun until I brought that up, right? Congratulations to the Italians. As per usual, you guys are great at everything. You know that already. Okay, where are we? In the distance, you can see the Shard, I believe is what it's called. It's actually across the river. We won't be crossing the river today, unfortunately. So we've been just like wandering around this area. I actually have no idea where I am. Here's Marks and Spencer store, middle of the intersection that I'm sure would be very busy on any other given year. But here we are. Okay, so the next bar I want to go to, Old Tom Bar. Eden Hall Market. Oh, good. Oh, yes. You kind of forget little details until you see it. I have so many memories about Old Tom Bar. I've only been there once, but you go into this market. Wait. What's this guy doing? Oh, he was just cleaning. I was like, what is this guy up to? And oh, he's right in front of Old Tom Bar. Oh, that's 6. I don't think we'll be able to go in, but this place was awesome. It actually it's actually downstairs. Sorry, can't come on. Okay. You go downstairs to actually enter the pub, and apparently you can get your shoe shined. You can get your shoe shined. Sorry. Any S words, 2 in a row, definitely messed me up. Old Tom's Bar. So apparently, just a few things about this bar. I believe it's named after a duck or a goose or something. and it's kind of it has a speakeasy type of vibe to it. The decor is kind of, let's see, let me pull up some pictures here. Oh, sorry, that's no good. you could Google the pictures yourself. I don't need to do that for you. This area is called Leadenhall Market. Leadenhall Market. And yeah, so the bar is named after this goose or duck or something. But I would say the highlight of it, despite being in this really, really awesome market, is this was where my wife decided to she'll have a drink with me, and so she got a gin and tonic, and the gin and tonic was so flavorful, and they did something that I've never seen done before. They cracked some fresh pepper on top of it, so it gave it a little bit of spice, and then I started doing that to my own drinks, and it actually makes it a big difference. It makes it so fancy, and it just gives it this little spice, this little hit that you're not expecting in a drink. And I really recommend it if you're having a drink. Crack some pepper on top, a gin tonic, something that's a little bit fizzy, bubbly, effervescent. I think anything could kind of handle that. Obviously not if you're using like super expensive stuff. Don't just like crack pepper into like an expensive bottle of champagne. But if it's like a mixed cocktail, I think it's worth a try. I think it would be something you'll really enjoy. Yeah, Old Tom Bar, a lot of good memories. Apparently, I wish I had. It's good to see. It's actually a big relief. It's too bad about sit and stand, but I'm glad some of these other places are still open. It would be a real shame if I was to take you on this journey and everything is closed, and we might as well go look at the London Eye or something. I don't know. Oh, in this angle, it's closed. But yeah, you get your shoe shined, and yeah, just such a cool place. I wish I had more time to actually explore this place because, like I mentioned, we were kind of on a tight schedule to get a lot of drinks in me. That I didn't really get like the chance to just wander around and explore all the cracks and crevices of London. But man, oh man, I love this place. Even just looking at this now, like, what is this? This looks like a restaurant, right? There's like chairs and stuff. This is so cool. Yeah. I don't know. I think about living here, but I feel like if I was to live here, if I was to get a job here, all this I would become jaded of it so quickly. It's good to have like a very distant land that you kind of fantasize and admire from afar, and when you actually go there, it lives up to the hype. You know, don't stay there for too long, but I feel like I could be here for a while. All right, that was Old Tom's Bar. A really cool place. About this point, I would say things started to get a little blurry, a little foggy for me. Wandering became a little bit more fun to do. And so I actually don't really remember this one. Okay, so we came a bit away. So we started around the Aldgate East area. Oh, I think I do remember this. And now we're over here. That's what I'm trying to say. Cannon Street. Let's see if I can get it properly. Here's the Sugar Loaf. Alright. Here we are. Yeah, not too many memories about this spot. Let's see if I can draw up a picture here. But I can tell you like a story. So going here and doing all this like drinking and stuff, and you you enter, you got all this strange money. Oh yeah, let's talk about London money, or the pound as they call it, the British pound. And it's incredibly deceiving. It's how can I put it? Everything is double the cost. Okay, let's say you're looking at the menu and you see like the number 6. What it actually means is like $12 Canadian, but there you just see the number 6 and you're like, wow, $6, what a deal. But it ends up being $12. And if you get into that weird frame of mind and you're just handling this like cash in you and you're thinking like $6, no big deal, $15, no big deals, and $50, no big deal. And then you realize, oh, those were all in pounds. I just spent like $200 on a thing. Whoops. That happened with like a taxi ride, one of those black cab taxis or something that's like world famous. It got us to the destination on time and it was great, but it was like 50 pounds. That's like $100 for that ride. And I was just like, this is not the best way to start a trip. I'm already, like, all my cash is gone right away. Yeah, and another thing about drinking at these bars, the Sugar Loaf. What a fun building. Just imagine living on top of a bar. I mean, I kind of did that in Vancouver, and it's not that great, but that would be fun. It would be fun. And you just meet all your friends. I really romanticize about bars more than I should. And my wife always tells me, it's like, it's actually kind of sad to be at a bar all the time. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of sad. And so I don't do it. But if I had another life to just like waste away, that's what I'll do. Alright, so that's Sugar Loaf. Oh yeah, I didn't actually tell you the story I wanted to tell you. Oh, look, before we go, a London phone booth, world famous, right? Oh yeah, what was I about to say? So, ordering beer, probably at Sugar Loaf, this Sugar Loaf. This guy, just like, oh, oh, you can see me. I'm this. Driving on the wrong side of the street. And you're ordering beer, and you see all the things, and you're trying to do this golden mile thing and drink all this beer. And what ended up happening a lot is just me looking at the names, and I'm like, that's the funniest name. And so I'll order that one, and it ends up being an IPA, and then I have to like down this IPA really quickly. That messed me up. Oh boy, this is a cool building. I love all the cool buildings here. I love also that they're not all like high rises. There are high rises parts, but these are like manageable size. And then you see like buildings that are clearly like hundreds and hundreds of years old, and like just this over here. And so you're just walking around and you see these old buildings. You definitely don't see that where I'm from in Vancouver, and you don't even see that in like New York, right? New York, you maybe see things like maybe 100 years old, but this might be like 1,000 years old. Who knows? The London Underground is everywhere. I also love. Did I finish my IPA story? Oh yeah, I accidentally order a bunch of IPAs while at bars. I love how kind of user friendly. You can't really see it in that one, but if you go to crosswalks, there's like words printed on the ground telling you which way to look, because tourists they would look the wrong way, and yeah, they get in trouble because of that. This is a cool plaza, eh? No idea what this is or who that statue guy is. This is cool. I did get a chance to visit Buckingham Palace and all that stuff. We won't really have time for that. We gotta get to bars and stuff. But yeah. So much fun. So much fun. And so the next one that we're gonna go to, we ended up just going from east to west, following the river as much as possible. Blackfriar. Okay, yeah. Thank God it's still here. So, alright, let me first show you how far we've gone. If you remember, we started out around Aldgate East over here, and now we've kind of moseyed our way, stumbling about close to the bridge, or one of the many bridges, to the Blackfriar Bridge. I'm sure there's a lot of good history about the Blackfriar Bridge that I don't know about. It's one of the older bridges, I believe, in the city. I think it's also one of the stations that connects from the south of the river to the north of the river. There's yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But yeah. Wait, where the bar go? Cyberpunk 2011. Okay, so here's the bridge, and this thing is blocking my way. Now this bus, get out of the way, bus. Oh my god. Alright, let's see if I can drop myself back down there, get a little closer. So, oh, I'm inside now. I guess this is fine. Hey, this is Stan Hamlin. He's having a beer. All right, while we're here, let's just take a moment. So when I arrived at the Blackfriar, it was like, I would say maybe end of the day. So it got really busy, and it was also raining that day too. So it made walking around really hard, but there were no seats in here. I remember stumbling into this bar, and it was completely packed, and I ordered a drink. It was off of the name, like a funny name, and I think it was called like Proper Job or something. So I was like, can I have a proper job? And the bartender was like, sure thing, mate. He didn't say it like that. He was an Australian. And then I literally stood there counting coins to pass to him, and at one point I was just like, here, just take this, and he hands me back my change, and he's like, welcome to the UK. And I was like, thank you. I'm like, I'm 4 beers in. This is going good. But yeah, there was nowhere to sit, so we came out here, and it was pouring rain, and all of this is just like packed with people as well, just Londoners standing outside in the rain, drinking their pint, and I've never felt more like around my kind of people. It's who cares? Let's do this. Let's get I don't know what the term in London is, but let's get wasted, as they would say here in the great northern Canada. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Oh jeez. So we went over here and we just drank the beer, the IPA. That was hard to stomach because but yeah, what a cool bar. I just love these bars so much, and that's like one of the reasons. It's such a like I can understand why it's so packed, because it's tiny, and rarely would you see something like a small kind of hideaway type of bar in Vancouver. There are a few here and there, but man, there's not enough of them. And I feel like London just has so many. Just like every corner has this kind of like coffee shop, pub type of thing. Like for every coffee shop we have in Vancouver, we should also have a bar. If you vote for me as mayor of Vancouver, I will make that happen. That will be my first duty. Yeah, this is great. It's the sun. Okay. So you can see here, kind of, we're going to stay on this side of the river here. And this is kind of the route we took. Just following this path. So on the south side of the river, there's a lot of other cool things. There's the Globe Theatre, which is where Shakespeare performed, and there's a lot of history around that. I believe they moved it at some point so that the artists can get paid better or something like that. And that's not too far away from the London Eye, which is that Ferris wheel thing you can take. While I was there, it was incredibly busy, kind of crazy as well. On the north side, I don't know, you have like the Tower London, which we passed. It's further east. I think we passed that now. You have the Big Ben thing, which yeah, people think the Big Ben is the clock tower, but I believe it's actually just the bell is called Big Ben. Something like that. Maybe something like that. All right, so the last place we went to was the Blackfriar, and now we're just kind of walking along the water. Let's actually do this for a bit. Yeah. And yeah, I just remember being like, it was, like I mentioned, a really rainy day, kind of like a cloudy day like this, which is typical London, I believe. But man, I remember just having so much fun that day because I was pretty drunk. But one reason why I'm doing this project and one reason why I'm doing this right now is because so often I feel nowadays our memories kind of fade away. Like I mentioned, this happened 7 years ago, and it was just one of the best days of traveling I've ever had. And this is pretty cool. And homeless. And memory is such a weird thing. And I feel like memory can also be tainted sometimes by events and just like the passing of time. And when you reflect on it, you kind of lose the fun and purity of it if you don't capture it in some way. And I hope that what I'm doing here, like already one of the bars doesn't exist anymore, so I've lost any kind of experience looking back and even like viewing it in any way. So, and also my memory is getting kind of blurry with these things, so I felt the need to kind of capture it as soon as I could. So I thought about it during the whole course of this project when like I kept putting London off, like don't do London yet, don't do London this episode. It's you're not ready for it, it's not interesting. But then I'm like, you know what? I need to just do it. I need to do it now because it was just such a good memory that I didn't want to lose it. I wanted to capture it while I still have a lot of positiveness to it. Who knows how much longer I'll be drinking? Maybe I'll quit. I could quit tomorrow if I wanted to. I don't need to do it. I'm not addicted. I just don't want to quit yet. So yeah, there's stuff like that where life change, you change, the city changes, and I think it's important to embrace that. But I also think it's important to capture it while you can and not worry too much about, oh no, what if I get canceled? Oh my god, you like London? Don't you know London is like the most racist place in the world? It's not. But, you know, like these things, there's this possibility that things will get ruined. So you gotta capture it while you can. I don't know. I don't know if it's real or it's just like a crazy thing to consider, but that's something. That does not seem right. That seemed way too far away. Okay. The Wellington is... Let's see if I can find... No. The Wellington Arms. This looks like a nice place, but it's definitely not where I went next. All the way in Reading. I'm worried that this place might no longer exist. No, it's not the Wellington Hotel. We definitely didn't go that far, so this will be a little upsetting if we start finding out more of these bars that I went to no longer exist. It's a little, I don't know if I can handle it. Also, I went to London another time after this, and what I discovered, we stayed in a very different area, but we went to a lot of what is essentially like a chain, like a franchise. It's called the Green King or something, and it's kind of taken over all the other older pubs. And I guess business in London is tough, you know. It's tough. Oh, well, that sucks. The Wellington might not exist anymore, unfortunately. Yes, it's just like the names of so many different things. Let's see if we just find it by doing a search. I did. That worked. Maybe I did it. No. I try to do a different search for Sin Stand, but let's drop it here. Oh gosh. Wellington. Ah, there it is. Oh, thank God. Woo! Woo! I'm actually sweating. This room is really hot. This seems like a nice place. Yeah. Not a whole lot of memories of this spot, but I believe we're not too far from Piccadilly Square. I believe by the time we got here, it was starting to get dark. And, not Piccadilly Square. Piccadilly Circus is what it's called. I always liked that because it reminded me of the circus. And I think we kind of just ended up here, to be honest. Wait, where did it go? Alright, well, let's just wander around because I don't have too much to say about the Wellington necessarily, except it was a lot of fun. Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, yeah. So I believe this area is kind of like the theater district. It's kind of restaurant, hotels, district, some shopping stuff as well. Seems like a pretty fancy place to be. Cool place to just be wandering through the night. Yeah. This is kind of their Broadway in New York, right? So go back and find that Wellington place. There it is. Well-preserved Edwardian pub. Yeah. Is that it? Cool. Yeah, I think like one side COVID started happening, then you go here and that's how it's supposed to look. So yeah, hopefully it's doing all right. But yeah, by the time we got to the Wellington, we were halfway through, 6 beers in, and things were getting kind of blurry. And then we wandered around. We had a lot of laughs walking through this area. Wellington, Jesus, oh God. Pubs. And then we went to one called the Nag's Head. Covent Gardens, alright. Okay, so I think this area is called the Covent Gardens. Okay. This was cool. And pretty much London has the best names, or England in general has the best names for bars, or like business in general. The Nag's Head? Perfect. So good. So good. Okay, so kind of like cornered here between the shutters and security door van. I wish I could get a better view of it. Oh, it's just, oh, I thought that was Wellington. So I remember walking here and having a choice between going to the White Lion or the Nag's Head. And obviously, look at this decor, right? I'm going to the Nag's Head. It looks like this is still a pre-COVID day. Beautiful day in London too. I like this bridge. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and okay. These are the spots to go to, in my opinion. I mean, it's probably still like a very touristy spot, but just getting to walk around, you don't have to like go to like the main tourist attractions necessarily. Sometimes just kind of just the corner of it, you find like some really cool stuff as well. I'm not, I do like doing touristy stuff. I'm not like, oh wow, I gotta find that like secret locals only type of place. I'm not really not like that. I'm like, I go there, I have a good time, I don't get stressed out over what I see or miss. I just try to enjoy the food and beverage and wander around, have some fun. The great thing about England obviously is that I speak English, so I could at least figure stuff out. Yeah, street. Okay, the Nag's Head. We finished that. Also, I like that England, they have like their signs are on the side of the building. There's no like actually like signposts or anything like that. It's all like attached to the wall. I kind of like that because it gives people less things to climb on during riots, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Bear and staff. Okay, so we're continuing eastward. So if you have a look at where we've come, we started somewhere over here in Aldgate East, and then we've made our way past Blackfriars, And now we're over here at Bear and Staff, which is another delightful name, like something and something, just like two random nouns, right? The glass and coaster. That's pretty simple. You know, not as good as naming as these Brits. A nice tucked away place. I actually remember this place. Kinda remember this place. Sort of, not really. I do think I ordered an IPA here, and I was getting pretty drunk. I mean, this would be the 8th beer in, and at some point, like, two ladies walked in, sat beside us, and started eating some macaroons. And in my drunken state, I just thought that was the most amazing thing ever. Macarons. I'm talking about like those two things, like kind of an Oreo cookie, like pastry type thing, not the other kind, which is just like this doughy thing. The way I'm describing this food is not doing it justice, but I remember just sitting there drunk in awe, and my wife was just like, wow, this guy that I'm with is really embarrassing me in front of these two ladies that are just trying to eat their macaroons. I was just like, I wasn't sure what I was saying, but it was probably unnecessary for everybody. It didn't need to be vocalized, I'm sure. But yeah, that's my memory of the Bear and Staff. It might have been the Bear and Staff. It might also be the next place we went to, which I wish they would just show me all the pubs. Kind of make a way there, because at this point we were starting to think like, hey, maybe we should probably start heading back now. Because we're quite far from where we started. We're like hours away now from just like mindless wandering. Oh, so here is Piccadilly Circus, and so honestly, these pubs kind of all look the same. Now that I'm seeing them like kind of back to back like that, without like actually like walking across the block or anything, these pubs all kind of look the same. But I love it. I love it for that. I love the consistent. It's like a Starbucks. It's like a Starbucks with a different name each time. Yeah, St. James Place, another fine place to have a beer, or the finest brandies, or malt whiskey, spelled with 2 A's. Is that the proper way to spell it? I don't know. Was this the place where I saw those ladies with macarons? I don't know. There's like furniture discarded outside. Man, I hate as much. I mean, COVID feels to be coming and going. I also wanted to finish this kind of series before like things completely return to normal. I know some places are more normal than others. In Vancouver, it's still a little shaky. I think some people are super ready to go back to normal, and some people are still like kind of just waiting for for the dust to fully settle. I think it's still a little dusty out there, if you know what I mean. Dusty viruses. Yes. But I hate seeing a city like this empty. It just breaks my heart, really. Okay, so we left St. James Place. walking in the wrong direction. And this is Piccadilly Circus too, I believe, which is like supposedly a very busy area of, I don't know what this is, but anyways. Yeah, St. James Square. There's just so much to explore. Like, I feel Hyde's Park. We ended up walking around Hyde's Park one time, the last time we were here. We were so close. Buckingham Palace. We really traveled quite a distance. Like, want to just pop in and check out Buckingham Palace for a little short moment? Why not? We're here already. Right. Yeah, so there's this park right beside it. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. In all its glory. Look at all these tourists. Yeah, I can't have a trip to London. Look at these girls just like looking at me. God, ladies. Just a drunk guy here. Okay, it appears I might not be able to get onto the road. Oh, sorry to keep walking by. Buckingham Palace, there it is. Pretty cool. A lot of people here. It's like a field trip or something going on. Yeah, alright. Back to what we were doing. St. James Place. So at this point, we were really feeling like, hey, we should probably head back. So we started wandering in some random direction. And we went to a place called Ale and Pie. I wonder if it still exists. No, it's not Fuller's. Might not exist anymore because it's definitely not over there. PF Chang's Asian table. No, we didn't go there. Secret. Okay, so what ended up happening was we walked north for some strange reason. I don't know how far we went. Let me just see if I can search. Sorry, there's a lot of searching in this episode, more so than previously. See, you just end up with all these different flying horse, phoenix, just arms. I assume some of. Okay, it's possible that Ale and Pie might no longer exist because Fuller's might have purchased their name. Let's see, Coach and Horse. That's maybe they rebranded. But King's Arms. But I remember seeing Ale and Pie and was just like, it was off like our route back home. It was actually probably like a terrible detour for us. Probably got us very lost. Is it? It might have been something like this, to be honest. Everything kind of looks the same. Anyways, I was like, we have to go to this one. We have to go to this bar. And so we went to it. And after leaving it, things got real blurry. But I believe I ended up at the McDonald's at Holborn. Yes. If you're doing a golden mile, any golden mile, you kind of at some point need to stop by McDonald's. That's just like a proper checkpoint to happen. You need to get a burger of some kind. That is actually a written rule that needs to happen. And we went to this McDonald's. I'm like eating my food, walking down here, and at some point, I remember I was just eating food out of like the paper bag. And then like an old man, not like super old, like an older man, maybe in his 50s, just like with his fancy shoes, just slips and goes head over heels and like falls on the ground. And look, I'm not proud, but I started like laughing, eating my fries because I witnessed it and it was so intense. I hope he's okay. And I hope he watches this and know that I'm sorry for laughing at him. It was it was just so funny. And I said something along the lines of, I I I saw it happening, but I couldn't help. And it was certainly not what he needed as well. Him and those macaroon ladies, I apologize for the way I behaved. I was intoxicated by your city. By your city. Alright, so at this point, we're heading back, and we got terribly lost. At various points, my wife was really upset with me because I was just strutting, and it's like the middle of the night now. It's maybe like it's probably past 10 p.m. Maybe leaning closer to like midnight. We've been walking for hours and hours now, and it's getting dark. I don't know where I'm going. We have this loose fucking map that doesn't have every street on it, and our hotel is so hard to find over in Aldgate. We did walk pretty close to the Gherkin and all that stuff. Actually, let's go. Is that what it's called? Yeah. We did wander around here, and to my realization, this is like, where it was this area that, what's his name? The murderer, Jack the Ripper. He was like killing people in this area, right? And I don't know if that was something she was like saying, or she was just like, homeless people might come rob us here, and it's like me walking like Conor McGregor, and her just like trying to keep up with me, to be honest. And I'm wandering into like dark alleyways, and she's telling me not to go in that direction. Keep in mind, I'm like very drunk at this point, and I was ready for anything, to be honest. And yeah, it was like, oh no, Jack the Ripper, Sweeney Todd, I don't know. But we were wandering into dark alleys and just thinking murderers were on our mind. And it's like, no, let's not get murdered. It would definitely ruin my my London experience if we were to get horribly murdered. But we ended up somehow miraculously finding our way back to our hotel, which we stayed at the One Motel, which is to find. Oh, it's not what I want. Is this actually it? I don't feel this is it. This is it. Kind of looks like it. It might be this. Rooms for $99. You're like, wow, $99? It's like it's $200. I don't know if this is it though. It might be it. Three Lords. Seems like a cool place. I would go to this one for sure. Happy hour. Is this the one I went to? Is that what? It's rebranded now? I might have just gone there first. If this is correct. Now that I know where it is. Oh, is it called the Stone Star? Yeah, that might be it. Okay, this is actually the first place we went to. I think. No, this isn't it. We were here. We were here earlier. We wandered here. Yeah, I remember this lady with her outfit. No, that's not it. Okay, so I think we did really good. We did really good. We saw a bunch of we didn't see, it wasn't exactly a complete walk down memory lane. I think a lot of stuff was missing. Hey, they have a WeWorks. It's let's end on a nice view of something. Let's go to Tower London because I went there and I had a terrific English breakfast there, and it was great. I think that'll be a nice way to end that scenery. Is this here? Is this here? So Tower London is, I believe, an old prison. Maybe once a castle as well, and then it became a prison. Oops. Let me just go. Tower of London. My apologies. There it is. I literally could have strolled down a little more. Okay, that's not the view I want. But we can get on the side here. Wow, this is a great view. Alright, I think this is perfect. I think this is perfect. Yes. So wasn't the complete walk down memory lane as I would have wanted to have. It appears a few bars no longer exist. At least I wasn't able to find it very quickly, but that was such a fun day in London, and it's something I hope to be able to do again really soon. Just drinking at different bars, walking through London. It's one of the joys I long for when it comes to traveling. Nothing beats the first time, and there's no real way to capture. I remember this was a point before, I guess, like, for some reason, like, smartphone cameras weren't really good at this point, like 7 years ago. And I didn't take a whole lot of pictures because I was drinking, so I didn't bring my big camera. And there's not a lot of memories, like physical memories of this day. I did, write the names of all the pubs down. Sorry, I'm a little hazy here myself. But I guess what I'm trying to say here to explain myself for doing this is that I guess memories change over time and your thoughts of it changes, and I really wanted to capture this in a way that maybe me in the future I could look back on this and like it would bring me a little bit closer to that moment where I had a lot of fun. And I should have vlogged it or something, but I didn't. And I hope this experience can just like hang on to it a little bit more. And also, it was an opportunity to share with you, maybe inspire you to visit London one day. And hey, $7.99 for traditional fresh fish and chips. $7.99, so that would be like $16, $18. Yeah, give or take. So very expensive place. I think every pint was costing me like 12 dollars, like £6. So very expensive place. I hope to be a millionaire, and I hope to go back there really soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun reminiscing with me. It wasn't like a big, tourist trap kind of experience, but I wanted to do something a little bit different because London, even though I'm not there all the time, it's definitely one of the fondest memories I have of traveling. Probably the best day of traveling. Just me, my wife, wandering through the city, enjoying each other's company, drinking beer. Me drinking beer, she like hanging out with me very kindly. She's the best. She's simply the best. And this is my way of expressing my love for her. Anyways, thank you for joining me. If you've enjoyed this, please check out my previous ones. If you haven't, I'm Elliot. I tend to make videos about writing, the creative process, but this has been a very rewarding video experience for me. So I hope to do more. I have a goal of doing X amount. I'm not going to tell you how much because I don't want to set an expectation, but COVID feels like it's ending, and I feel like this helped kind of mark the times and marked the moment, the present moment, as well as reflecting on the past. And so I thank you again for watching. Thank you so much. Your time is precious. I know you're very busy, but I bid you adieu. Is that how you say it? Adieu? Sounds wrong coming from my mouth. Adieu? Oh, God. Alright. I'll talk to you later.